If you're traveling today, you will notice something different as major airlines are stripping away a big requirement. Plus, fires here in the valley force families from their homes. We have the latest on the evacuation orders. And gusty winds could be blowing their way back into the desert. Jerry will break it all down for you. Today is Tuesday, April 19th.
This is NBC Palm Springs. News first.
Good Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you're off to a great start. I'm Thalia Hayden alongside Jerry Steffen.
Good morning.
Good morning. No reprieve from these winds, huh?
No. Three windiest months in the Coachella Valley are what?
Wait, I'm sorry. April, May, June.
Very good, yes. And we're living up to that. Yeah, it's going to be a windy week. On and off, gusty winds all week long. There's the moon.
Yeah, look at that. It looks like a diamond cut, or a princess cut diamond, I should say.
Yeah, a little bit hazy look there at the moon. A little bit of cloud cover. That'll clear out slowly throughout the day, but the winds will be the big factor today. They'll get a little gusty out of the west beginning this afternoon through tonight. Wind advisories, as I mentioned yesterday, I predicted will happen, and they did, and they're posted for today through tonight.
All right, we'll deal with those winds. Thank you, Jerry. We'll get back to you in a bit.
No problem.
We want to talk about two house fires here at home. You may have seen them. The first one sparked in Desert Hot Springs. Smoke could be seen across the I-10 last night. CAL FIRE says the blaze was reported around 5 o'clock near Dillon Road. Several 100 by 100 foot piles of slosh were burning. Crews were able to put out that fire but remain on the scene to clean it up. And then in Thousand Palms, a shelter-in-place order has been lifted. However, the so-called Castillo fire evacuation order remains in effect for residents in the area after a mulch fire quickly grew. Now, this one sparked around 6:30 last night and near Desert Moon Drive and 30th Avenue. You probably saw all that black smoke if you're in that area. Crews were able to stop it from spreading. At least 5 homes have been evacuated. 20 acres have burned so far. All right, time to get back to Jerry. Check out the weather.
Well, first let's talk about what's happening early tomorrow morning. We have a lineup of 4 planets and a moon, kind of. If you look down at your feet, you'll see another planet, of course, Earth. But Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and Saturn will be lined up almost evenly in the sky just before sunrise tomorrow morning. So, yeah, look for that. That's going to be kind of cool to see. As far as the temperatures, we're above average already, 70 degrees, thanks to the very warm weather we had yesterday. Winds are light. That'll change. And 34% relative humidity, 54 Big Bear, 64 degrees currently up at Yucca Valley. Same for Joshua Tree, about the same at 29 Palm, 76 at Desert Hot Springs under some clouds, 78 degrees, Indio, 77 at the city of Coachella, and 69 at Whitewater to begin our Tuesday. Winds, yeah, not bad now. Teens, as far as gusts, are the strongest we could find at this hour. Winds will be onshore. They'll develop out of the west and getting a little gusty this afternoon through tonight. Nothing in radar. The dry weather pattern for us continues over the next couple of days, but you can see a lot of upper level moisture kind of moving through the area. There's a trough of low pressure, and that high pressure center that brought us the near 100-degree numbers yesterday is shifting its way down to the south and to the east, and that'll take that cloud cover out of here. So we'll clear out throughout the day. But that trough of low pressure, as it approaches, will tighten up that pressure gradient. So that means onshore winds will get gusty today and through tonight, and possibly on and off through the rest of the work week. Today, not as hot as yesterday, still above average temps, lots of 90s for the Coachella Valley. As far as that wind advisory, that expires at 11 o'clock tonight, but we're not done with the winds this week. That includes the Coachella Valley, San Gorgonio Pass, area mountains, parts of the high desert, again, through tonight. Dew points a little higher than yesterday, but still dry. A lot of 20-degree numbers this afternoon, and highs in the low to middle 90s for the Coachella Valley. So a lot lower than yesterday, because we did hit 100 degrees in some areas of the valley yesterday afternoon. So a little better, but still above average. 92 for Palm Springs and a Comfort Air 3-day forecast. Middle 80s tomorrow. That's normal for this time of year. And then we move to 84 degrees, still typical for this time of year. A lot of sunshine on Thursday. But again, tomorrow and again on Thursday, possibly even Friday, on and off gusty winds for Southern California. More on what we can expect into the weekend in just a few minutes.
All right, Jerry, thank you for that. This morning, for the first time in more than a year, masks are no longer federally required on planes. Now, this comes after a federal judge in Florida struck down the national mandate, and now the White House is reviewing the decision. But the TSA says it will not enforce the mandate, and most of the major carriers now say masks are optional. CNN's Pete Montaigne reports.
A surprise court ruling has ended the transportation mask mandate for now. U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizelle said she does not need another hearing to decide that the rule exceeds the CDC's authority. Mizelle's Monday ruling first threw the travel industry into disarray, but now a growing list of airlines confirm masks are no longer required on their flights. The federal government began requiring masks on planes, trains, buses, boats, and in terminals starting in February 2021. Last week, the Biden administration once again extended the rule to expire on May 3rd, citing a rise in coronavirus cases. But only hours prior, the airline industry's top lobby wrote the White House to say the mandate must end.
We've done it for 2 years, and it's time to move beyond that and now make that the responsibility of individuals.
Face coverings are required at all times.
Judge Mizelle was appointed to federal district court in 2020 by then-President Donald Trump. In her ruling, Mizelle said travelers have been, quote, forcibly removed from their airplane seats, denied boarding at the bus steps, and turned away at the train station doors, likening it to, quote, detention and quarantine. Immediately following her decision, passengers at airports across the country continued wearing masks, unaware of the ruling.
Hopefully it ends.
I'll always wear my mask. I lost my grandmother to COVID a year ago, and so I'm very particular about the mask.
It has brought me to tears on so many occasions.
And this is what a lot of travelers were doing with their masks on board this Southwest flight, saying goodbye to them, tossing them away with big smiles. Meanwhile, others are following suit, including rideshare companies. Today, Uber says all riders and drivers will not be required to wear masks while using the service. But they are still recommending masks for those with personal risk factors or in high transmission rate areas. Company says if customers feel uncomfortable, they can cancel the trip. And back here at home, the Riverside Transit Agency says it will keep masks on for now. Requirements in place, awaiting word from legal counsel or the Federal Transit Administration on what policy changes to make for those riders. Well, the first weekend of Coachella has officially wrapped up, and while more crimes were reported this year than the last festival, local police are still calling it a success. Considering the population in Indio nearly doubles for each festival, police say their main concern revolved around traffic control.
But it did catch our interest because this is another proving back. Please obey the routes. Please be patient. Please work with the staff that are out there. They're only out there for the public, concert goers, in order to be able to travel from one point to the other. But when they're in these designated areas, just work with us.
The Indio Police Department did say there were no major concert-related criminal activities that were reported. Weekend 2 kicks off this Friday, so prepare again, folks, for traffic and pack your patience if you are a resident here. A trial date for the man accused of killing a 75-year-old North Palm Springs woman with a machete will be announced this week. It happened in 2021, just days after David Earl Williams Jr. was released from state prison. Williams was charged with murder for killing Robin Patricia Barr. New at 6, we are learning more about the man who fatally stabbed a high school girl in Stockton. Police arrested 52-year-old Anthony Gray for murder. They say Gray came onto school campus and stabbed the teen girl several times. Here's the latest.
Stagg High School's campus turned crime scene after investigators say a 15-year-old girl was stabbed Monday morning.
A trespasser entered the front of our school today and stabbed one of our students multiple times. Unfortunately, she did not make it.
This tragedy has alarmed educators, students, and parents. The Stockton Police Department is now investigating.
It's an awful feeling. It's like I know, like I said, I know my student's a boy, so I knew it wasn't him. but it's just like you got hit in the chest with a sledgehammer, because that's pretty crazy.
Investigators say the intruder, who is described as a man in his 40s, drove onto campus and attacked the girl. They add he was quickly detained and remains in custody.
Stockton Unified School District police officer was right there immediately and was able to do his job, and it helped prevent that from continuing.
Investigators believe the suspect targeted the girl.
We're still in the early stages of investigation, so I can't really answer to the motive or relationship or the nature of that.
The school went on lockdown immediately after the stabbing, as parents worried and prayed for the students and the girl's family.
I just hope that they're okay. I hope they're okay. They're just trying to go to school and get education, and then all this.
In Stockton, Kay Racine, KCRA 3 News.
It is 10 past the hour. If you have not filed those taxes, it's not too late. How you can get that extension.
It didn't have to go this long, and it was a lot of wasted time.
The woman accused of faking her own kidnapping has officially and finally come clean. What led her to lie? The Sherry Panini update. And of course, we have Jerry.
Yeah, we just finished weekend 1 of Coachella. Weekend 2 coming up very soon. Temperatures are going to be below average, but the winds could play a role in the forecast for people at Indio at the Polo Ground. 77 is all you're going to get for high. Numbers go up there. Normal stuff on Saturday. We'll see enough sunshine, and then 90 degrees. So mild weather, basically, as far as temps throughout all 3 days of the second weekend of Coachella. Forecast for us in the Valley coming up next. Keep it here.
And now the Agua Caliente Entertainment Report, brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Welcome back. Our Great National Parks arrived on Netflix last weekend. It's a nature documentary series hosted by former President Barack Obama. Manny the Movie Guy sits down with the show's producer for this behind-the-scenes look.
A fish that can walk. Surfing hippos want to catch the waves.
Hey, Manny, good to see you.
Oh, nice to see you. And a big congrats on our great national parks. In one word, majestic.
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot.
Oh, you guys are so welcome. Let's begin with you, Mr. James. What got you interested in producing our great national park? I mean, give us a genesis.
Okay, so really we wanted to celebrate
national parks. Yellowstone was founded 150 years ago. Since then, it's been one of the greatest conservation movements across the world, and 50% of them have been made in the last 50 years. So it's something that's kind of been growing and that's been happening. And actually today, we need to recognize their importance because wilderness is vitally important. We all need wild spaces to be functioning and healthy if we want a healthy planet, if we want to be healthy ourselves. So it felt like a really good time to celebrate their importance.
Species found nowhere else on Earth.
At the moment, what's happening with our world, national parks, is such a key conservation effort. And because it exists around the world, everybody has an experience of a national park, or in their country there'll be a national park, and so it's a story we need to be telling now. It's so important that we engage with it in this moment.
Join me in this celebration of our planet's greatest national parks and wilderness.
So former President Barack Obama produces and hosts and narrates the show. Tell us about his participation here, Mr. James.
We joined Netflix at around the same time that High Ground, his production company, joined Netflix, and it seemed a real natural fit to be introduced. And then guess what? We discovered shared passions for wilderness and wildlife. And of course, the president has protected more wilderness than any other living president. And it seemed a very natural fit.
A big congrats on our great national parks. It's a loving homage to Mother Nature, and I love it.
Thank you. It's great to meet you, Manny.
And checking our Walter Clark 111 cam. Clouds overhead that'll clear out throughout the day today. Yesterday we had temps that were close to 100 degrees, even surpassing it in some communities in the Coachella Valley. As far as the temperatures, they will go down over the next few days. But yesterday was a warm one, very warm one for the valley. A high of 100 degrees in Palm Springs. Thermal hit 102 yesterday, but the numbers come down after this afternoon. So temperatures will mild out by the end of the week, but still dealing with winds. Not so bad right now at Palm Springs at the airport. 5-mile-an-hour wind, 68 degrees, 35% relative humidity, but the winds will ramp up later today. 64 Yucca Valley, 76 right now. At Desert Hot Springs, 71 at Thousand Palms. Under some cloud cover winds, the strongest we could find through the San Gorgonio Pass, Whitewater, and Cabazon. 14-mile-an-hour gusts there, but again, the winds will move up later today. We're in a dry weather pattern that will continue for the next couple of afternoons. Did get some clouds last night through this morning. That's beginning to shift its way down to the south, so sunshine expected the second half of the day. But that approaching frontal boundary plays a role in our winds. They will get strong this afternoon through tonight out of the west, and some of the strongest winds through the San Gorgonio Pass and high desert. Most of us getting some strong breezes, but it's the west end of the valley that'll get some of the strongest winds later today. Because of that, a wind advisory has been posted through tonight for the Coachella Valley, San Gorgonio Pass, parts of the high desert area mountains through tonight. Doesn't mean the winds are going to be over with. We're still looking at Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday, on and off gusty winds for us in the valley and Southern California. Temperatures come down from around 100 degrees yesterday afternoon to low 90s this afternoon. Overnight lows in the low to middle 60s, and then the numbers chip away even more by midweek. Wednesday, middle to upper 80s, but again, onshore winds will be on and off gusty around the Coachella Valley. Specifically, 86 degrees Wednesday afternoon under sunshine at Palm Springs, 87 at Indio, and lots of middle 80s again for Thursday for the Coachella Valley. We have a jet stream that'll dip its way down to the south by this coming Thursday and Friday. That will bring cooler air Friday for the Coachella Valley, but also another round of strong winds for us around the Coachella Valley. 74 to 78, that'll be our coolest day Friday before those numbers move back up on the back end of that frontal boundary. Will we see rain? Ensemble forecast says yes, maybe hundredths of an inch for the Coachella Valley. I think we'll stay rain-free, and the bulk of the rain, as usual, will be in our mountains and to our west. But the coolest day will be Friday, 74, 75, 76s, and 77s for highs. That's all you're going to get on Friday afternoon before the numbers inch back up. So today, dry but gusty. Those dew points do move up Thursday and Friday with the approach of that frontal boundary. Comfort Air 7-day forecast, 92 today, 86 tomorrow for Palm Springs. Still mid-80s on Thursday, but the winds on and off gusty Wednesday and Thursday, possibly even Friday. Friday, the numbers start moving back up, mid-90s by Monday of next week. There's the news.
He was doing his good dance.
Yeah, I can't help but get into the groove when you hear that theme song for Hashtag Holiday Calendar. Have a pop quiz regarding one of the holidays. Who's playing with us today? Thalia?
Me, the control room. We have Tali, Rico.
Who's back from Coachella, by the way?
Ruben.
Coachella Music Fest?
Yeah, all right.
All right,
yep.
Good. Well, we have a couple questions for both of you to get your brains jump-started, right? And you can play along, too. Tuesday, April 19th, 2022. You didn't get the memo, but it's National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Yeah, well, anyway, the premise is it falls on the day after tax day. They think that file and then relax. I don't think that's the case, though. No. Not at all, yeah.
I like that idea of the government filing for us. We did a story on it yesterday. They do it in other countries.
Yes. Yeah, we always have a little little less than a head start. Some other countries are ahead of us in some areas, and I think that's
and
one
we
of
have
them.
to pay for the service.
Exactly, yeah. National Wear Your Pajamas to Work Day. Also, World Bicycle Day is today. A couple of environmental leaning holidays today, which is kind of cool. Established in 2008 by the UN General Assembly, a simple, affordable, environmentally clean mode of transportation. I got to get myself a bike.
Yep.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I love bike
riding. I got to
riding.
get mine out.
Yeah.
National Hanging Out Day. What do you think that's all about?
Just chilling?
No, it's not. I thought so too.
Oh.
It's not about gathering around the water cooler at work or, hanging out a street corner with your friends. It's about hanging out your just washed clothes. A clothesline.
Like old school?
Hanging out your clothes.
Okay.
Yes, another environmentally sound way of doing your clothes.
I've never done that.
My mom did it all the time when we grew up.
I think that was a thing back in the
air
day.
them out. Also, Pet Owners Day. So this one, it's about the pet a little bit, but it's more about the owners who take care of the pets.
Yeah, it's a big
Pet
job.
Owners Day is today. We have a couple pet-related questions today on our calendar here.
All right,
The
pets.
first of two, multiple choice. The mid-1960s television comedy The Munsters, you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, featured the characters Herman, Lily, Marilyn, and Eddie, and a very odd family which owned a pet named Spot. Spot was their pet. What was it? Was it A, a dragon, B, a python, or C, a tarantula? Do you remember the Munsters? Yeah? You think it's C, a tarantula? Spot the tarantula? What do you have in the control room? What do you think it was? What was their pet's name?
Yeah.
Not the pet's name. The pet's name was Spot.
Ruben
What
says
was it?
B,
It's
everybody
B in the
else
control room.
C.
C. You got okay, yeah. It was a dragon. You all got it wrong. Yes, he lived under the stairs. I
could've
remember
sworn it
that.
was
The
a
stairs would
spider.
come up, and there would be this fire-breathing dragon named Spot.
We were all wrong.
The Munsters. Okay. Second question regarding pets. During the first season of the sitcom Friends, Ross Geller adopts an illegal exotic monkey
Yes.
he named A, Hugo, B, Marcel, or C, Raphael. You know this one?
Yeah.
No? Okay, well, let's go to the control room. What do you got there? Well, Thalia says B. You got B and A. It's B, Marcel.
Marcel.
Remember that?
Yes, I'm a Friends fan.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay. That was, I think, just the first season, right?
Yeah, he was a
Never heard from the
monkey.
monkey after that.
I know, it was a cute one. It made everyone want to get a monkey, didn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't
think
know. Anyway, happy Pet Owners Day. Back in a bit.
This is NBC Palm Springs. News first.
Good Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us. I'm Thalia Hayden. Enjoy this beautiful background. That's a live look from our valley. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Our Agua Caliente casino cam. Nice colors of yellow in the sky as the sun rises for us this morning. Topping the news, mask mandates are coming down nationwide. Amy Kiley has more on what this means for travelers.
Masking up while traveling is now optional most of the time.
I'm excited. If you want to wear them. If not, then don't.
A federal judge in Florida has struck down the Biden administration's public transportation mask mandate. While the ruling is reviewed, the TSA and a growing list of U.S. airlines and other transit organizations say they won't enforce the rule.
It looks like it's a done deal. I mean, the administration, rather than saying they were going to appeal right away and try to get a stay, they basically acquiesced in the decision.
Amtrak says masks are now optional, but stop that train. Local governments and travel organizations can still enforce their own regulations. These transit systems are some of the first to say they will continue requiring masks. These say they will not. Regardless, the CDC still recommends choosing to wear a mask on public transportation.
Just because you're not required by the government to wear a mask, that doesn't mean you shouldn't wear a mask. I'm definitely going to be masking when I go to planes, on trains, in airports.
Experts recommend an N95 or similar grade of mask for the best protection.
Wear a mask during the times that are the highest risk. That is boarding the plane and deplaning, because that's when the ventilation system is not turned on.
I'll always wear my mask. I lost my grandmother to COVID a year ago, and so I'm very particular about the masks.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
If you have not completed your 2021 tax returns, you may be wondering just how bad a late filing penalty could be, or better yet, how to avoid paying a penalty. If you are due for a tax refund, there's no penalty for filing your taxes late, but you can't get your refund money without filing that tax return. And if you don't file a return within 3 years, you could lose the refund money altogether. And you can bet that if you don't file and you owe money, they will find you.
Keeping in mind that an extension of time is an extension of time to file, not extension of time to pay. So if you do owe something, you should get that in the mail today, whether it's paying it online or dropping a check in the mail. And then again, if you send it by mail, you want to make sure that that goes in registered or certified mail so that you have proof that it was sent in when it was.
To avoid paying some late penalties, file for an extension by today, giving yourself that extra 6 months, but you'll still have to pay an estimate of what you think you'll owe using Form 4868. Well, it may take the post office a little longer to deliver those small packages. Monday, the United States Postal Service announced it is updating its first-class delivery standards, but the service is not getting faster. Instead, the USPS will add 1 to 2 days on the delivery of nearly a third of its first-class small packages, if you got all that. The Postal Service says the additional days will allow them to have more time to deliver long distance and to increase the efficiency of their network. The new changes take effect on May 1st. Engineers say a Florida amusement park improperly altered a ride to make it unsafe, leading to the death of a 14-year-old. Tyler Sampson fell off the 430-foot tall Orlando Freefall ride last month, and the results come from an independent engineering report.
This report confirmed our department's findings that the operator of the Orlando Drop Tower made manual adjustments to the ride, resulting in it being unsafe. The report confirms that manual adjustments had been made to the sensor for the seat in question that allowed the harness to restraint opening to be almost double that of the normal restraint opening range. These misadjustments allowed the safety lights to illuminate, improperly satisfying the ride's electronic safety mechanisms that allowed the ride to operate, even though Mr. Sampson was not properly secured in the seat.
The ride's manufacturer had a safety mechanism in place to stop operation if sensors detect a gap more than 3 inches between a rider and safety harness. Florida officials say the operator's adjustment to alter that feature contributed to creating a gap large enough for Samson to fall through. President Biden hosted his first White House Easter egg roll yesterday morning. It hasn't been held since 2019 because of the pandemic. The theme for the 142nd White House Easter egg roll is Egg-Jucation, featuring activities geared toward learning.
Education never stops. The determined spirit of education is what we wanted to honor in this Easter egg roll. So we turned the South Lawn into a school community. Today, we hope you learn by going to the Reading Nook, roll some eggs, and most of all, have fun.
Officials say they expect about 30,000 people throughout the day. That was again yesterday, a little bit of a rainy day. Everybody taking part in that celebration, having a good time, and another example of things getting back to normal again. And then we had the 126th Boston Marathon that kicked off yesterday. And this is the first time since the pandemic began that the famed race was held on Patriots Day as normal. More than 28,000 runners took to the streets in Hopkinton to begin their journey to that finish line, just over 26 miles away in Boston's Copley Square. Evans Chebet of Kenya took this year's title with the time of over 2 hours, 6 minutes. And we were talking about this yesterday, Jerry, how impressive that is on the women's side, 2 hours, 21 minutes.
It's crazy.
And 1 second.
Yeah.
Over the weekend, local boxer Brandon Lee was in Texas trying to keep his record perfect against his competitor, and he did just that.
3 in favor of the winner, and still undefeated, Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee wins by unanimous decision over Zachary Ochoa. A win is a win, but this match breaks Lee's 15 knockout streak, and he boxed beyond the 7th round for the first time in his whole career. After his match, Lee told reporters, "Perhaps I could have performed better. My combinations been a bit sharper, but it was a good fight overall." Lee's record now improves to 25-0 with 22 knockouts. Wow, and he is a La Quinta native.
That's nice, yeah.
And Jerry, we have learned that Paula Abdul will headline the Palm Springs White Party at the end of this month, capping off the 3-day event with a night party on May 1st. Abdul's performance will be followed by a fireworks display and a video tribute to the White Party's Palm Springs creator, Jeffrey Sanker. It's all set to run from April 29th through May 1st at the Palm Springs Convention Center and the Hilton Palm Springs after a 3-year hiatus.
Oh, so many hits from Paula.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you. My most memorable, the one talked about all the time, was Opposites Attract. Remember?
Yeah, remember the cartoon video with that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it got so much attention, that cartoon video.
Yes, exactly. I think it was one of her most popular. No,
yeah,
not off the top of my head right now, but she was big in the late 80s, 90s, right?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I know all the songs. I just can't think of them. That one stands out.
I think that'll be a fun performance to see her there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Paula Abdul.
Speaking of something not really weather-related, but looking up at the sky, you might want to check this out before sunrise tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Because we'll have all the planets lined up, almost in perfect symmetry there.
How neat is that?
Yeah, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, and Saturn. You have to look to the east and east-southeast to see this lineup. The brightest will be Venus, followed by Jupiter. Mars and Saturn a little more faint in the sky, but you should be able to see that. I think the skies are going to be clear. Again, that's just before sunrise. We'll be up.
Neat.
Check it out before you head into work. Okay?
Now, sometimes they look just like stars, right?
Exactly,
you just think it's a star.
Yeah.
But if you took a telescope,
you could
see
probably see the rings of Saturn. So yeah, that'd be kind of cool tomorrow morning. And then we have something happening. I'll remind you later this week about the comet. Not a comet. I'm sorry. What am I thinking? Meteor shower.
Meteor shower. All right, we got it. It's early. It's okay.
Tuesday morning.
I wish I could have read your mind. But
Yes, okay. As far as the skies yesterday, we did see clouds move in. We're seeing some of that still in the sky. That'll clear out later today. That's kind of a neat shot.
Yes.
That's our Agua Caliente Casino Camp. A warm start for us, 68 degrees. The current temp, winds at 5 miles an hour. We'll see this go up. This goes down a little bit. Humidity at 35%. Another dry day for us. 54 at Big Bear, 62 Yucca Valley, 29 Palm Palms coming in at 66 under partly cloudy skies, 76 Desert Hot Springs, 77 Indio, 64 degrees at Palm Desert, San Gorgonio Pass cities, lots of 60s and 70s to begin our day. So above average temps. Strongest winds, Big Bear, 23-mile-an-hour gust. Everybody else just breezy. That'll pick up later today. We will have an issue with winds. That'll kick up the dust and dirt a little later on today. Nothing on radar today. Tomorrow, a dry weather pattern continues. We have a high pressure center which brought temps up to around 100 degrees for many of us in the Coachella Valley yesterday afternoon. That high begins to push its way down to the south and east. A trough of low pressure is moving in. So we still have some of that high cloud cover, but that'll be pushed out of the way later today. We get some sunshine. But that trough also providing winds that'll be out of the west, and they'll get gusty. In fact, a wind advisory has been posted through 11 o'clock tonight. Winds out of the west will be sustained for the valley between 15 and 25 miles an hour, gusts up to 35, 45 in some areas. Dew points in the 20s by the middle of the afternoon, and high temps a lot cooler than yesterday, but still slightly above average. Low to maybe middle 90s for us under some sunshine this afternoon. Comfort Air 3-day forecast, sunshine tomorrow. Still, although the wind advisory expires tonight, we're going to see gusty on and off winds Wednesday, Thursday again, possibly even Friday. The numbers go down from the middle 80s on Wednesday, Thursday to some 70s, and Friday before, yeah, they move back up. Full forecast and 7-day on the way.
Thank you, Jerry. The owner of a shoe store at a Victorville mall is charged with assault with a firearm after allegedly shooting a 9-year-old girl last week. Police say Markel Michael Cockrell allegedly hit the young girl while he was shooting at 2 shoplifters who took items from his store. Now, the girl was waiting in line to take pictures with the Easter Bunny before she was hit with 3 stray bullets, breaking her arm. Cockrell was scheduled for a San Bernardino County Superior Court video arraignment. A California woman has pleaded guilty to charges related to her faking her own kidnapping. Sherry Papini has claimed Hispanic woman kidnapped her at gunpoint, but that's not true. She then collected money from the state as a victim.
It didn't have to go this long, and it was a lot of wasted time.
It's been 5.5 years since Sherry Papini of Redding sparked a search, first for her and then for her supposed kidnapper she claimed let her go on Thanksgiving Day. 5.5 years that the Shasta County Sheriff's Office has been on the case.
There was a lot of layers to it and a lot of frustration and letdowns and highs and lows. But at the end of the day, on today's date, what is today? April 18th, the judge found her guilty.
A judge accepted Papini's guilty plea in federal court today via Zoom as she admitted the whole thing was a hoax. She had actually been staying with an ex-boyfriend for a few weeks. So today, when the judge asked if she was kidnapped, she said, "No, Your Honor." At times getting emotional, saying she was sorry and very sad. Captain Brian Jackson said he'd like to hear more from her.
I think it's a good start, but there's several other things that obviously still trying to figure out why do this in the first place. Why continue it? Well, once you came back and on Thanksgiving in 2016, why not stop it along the way?
Convictions now for mail fraud and making false statements carry a sentence of up to 25 years in prison. While Jackson doesn't expect Papini to get the maximum, he does have an idea of a punishment he thinks would fit the crime.
You know, I've had some time to reflect in the last couple of weeks. 5.5 years sounds pretty good to me. Same amount of time that I've spent with this case.
An act of defiance as surviving Ukrainians reject Russian demands to surrender or die. Meanwhile, a barrage of Russian missiles hit Lviv near NATO territory where thousands of families thought they'd escape the worst of the war. Mike Valerio has the story.
Smoke billows from Lviv, once thought as a refuge where thousands of families fled from Russian atrocities. Now, the western Ukrainian city near Poland grieves its first reported fatalities of the war. 4 missile strikes hit Lviv, killing at least 7 people. The blast wave shattered windows in a hotel where internally displaced Ukrainians were staying. The fighting is also intensifying in the east, where Tamara shelters with her grandson in Severodonetsk.
A lot of people can't leave this place because of problems with health, and they don't have enough money.
Ukrainian forces in Mariupol rejected a weekend ultimatum from Russia to, quote, surrender or die. Ukrainian troops are now surrounded within a massive steel plant, the last known pocket of resistance in the key port city.
The situation is very difficult in Mariupol. It's clear that things won't get better.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky tells CNN's Jake Tapper Russian forces took thousands of children from Mariupol, and it's unclear where they are now.
About 5,000 children deported from this region to Russian side because they didn't allow them to go to the Ukrainian side, I mean the Ukrainian control side yet. That's it, so we don't know what is with that children. Where are they?
He adds Ukraine won't give up any territory in the east as a new Russian offensive is expected there in the coming days. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
Well, hello, good Tuesday morning. Starting out with clouds over the Coachella Valley. This is our Walter Clark 111 cam. Clouds will clear out throughout the day today, but winds will be a factor in our forecast. More on that in a bit. Yesterday, we had the heat, 100 degrees, the high in Palm Springs. We should be in the middle to upper 80s this time of year, a little hotter at the southeast end of the valley. Thermal peaked at 102 yesterday. Today, the numbers start coming down. 68 degrees right now, winds at 5 miles an hour, 35% relative humidity, 54 Big Bear, 64 degrees. That's up north. At Yucca Valley, 77, Desert Hot Springs, 77 also at Indio to begin our Tuesday. Winds not too bad right now. Onshore winds will develop and strengthen throughout the morning into the afternoon and evening. Strongest winds right now up in the mountains, 23 mile an hour gust at Big Bear. Radar quiet. Dry weather pattern continues in our immediate future. We did have clouds move in yesterday afternoon, evening, and they're still over us this morning, but that'll begin to clear out as this begins to sink its way down to the southeast. Two things are happening. That high pressure center that brought us to triple digits yesterday, it's moving its way down to the south and east out of the picture. Trough low pressure is beginning to descend into Southern California. As it does, the pressure gradient tightens up, so winds will get gusty a little later on today. As I mentioned, the numbers come down, but still above average. Lots of 90s for us in the valley. Strongest winds, high desert, especially through the San Cogonio Pass, west end of the Coachella Valley, Yucca Valley, Desert Hot Springs, Whitewater getting some of the strongest winds. Strong breezes for us in the valley, although occasionally gusty for us. And we do have a wind advisory. For some reason, it disappeared. But if it was working, you'd see shading areas over the Coachella Valley High Desert area mountains, San Gorgonio Pass that expires at 11 o'clock tonight. But still, on and off gusty winds for the next few days that follow. Temps come down from the triples yesterday to low to middle 90s this afternoon. Overnight lows a little bit on the warm side. Lots of 60s for us in the valley. Trough of low pressure begins to weaken, but still gusty on and off winds on Wednesday. Temperatures descend into the mid to upper 80s, which is basically where we should be this time of year. So 86s, 87s for many of us in the Coachella Valley Thursday afternoon. Friday looks as though the numbers come down a little bit more from Thursday's 80s. Now that jet stream, which is to the north, that allowed all those temperatures to get to the triple digits yesterday, well, that'll change. We have the jet stream, which will sink its way down to the south, and Friday will be the day we could get some strong winds and cooler air with that jet dropping its way down to the south and a trough of low pressure swinging through the area. So the coolest day will be Friday, middle 70s for highs under partly cloudy skies, but again, some rain in Southern California. The ensemble forecast does say some light showers for the valley. Again, the best shot will be late Thursday into early Friday, but I think most of the rain, if anything at all, will stay to the west of us. Hundredths of inch of rain, if anything at all. So mid 70s for Friday's highs, definitely cooler and below average temps. Surface moisture dry again today, around 10% relative humidity. Moisture begins to pull into the area, so we'll see those numbers gradually move up into Friday. Comfort Air 7-day forecast for Palm Springs. 92 today. Again, a wind advisory posted for this afternoon and evening. On and off gusty winds will still be with us Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday, but the numbers back off. 74 degrees Friday. After that, yep, the roller coaster continues back up to the 90s by Monday of next week.
We have some dramatic video to show you out of Indiana as police rescue a mother and her 2 toddlers from a burning apartment. Take a look.
I got you. I got you.
Look at that. Now, this happened in the early hours of April 11th. A mother, her 2-year-old and 3-year-old were trapped on the second floor there. 3 officers rushed to the back of the building where the mother dropped her children down to the officers. She then jumped down herself. The flames started when a candle was knocked over by a resident, setting a blanket on fire. 1 person was slightly injured. 20 people have been displaced. Wow, scary situation there, but everybody miraculously got out safely. We'll be right back. Now to a quick recap of your top stories this morning. A fire in Desert Hot Springs last night is officially contained. Drivers could see and smell the smoke from the I-10. Many were inquiring about what it was. Several 100 by 100 foot piles of slosh were burning. And in Thousand Palms, a mulch fire forced families from their homes. A shelter-in-place order has been lifted, but an evacuation order remains in effect for the residents there. Crews were able to stop it from spreading. At least 5 homes have been evacuated. 20 acres have burned so far. And this morning, first time in more than a year, masks no longer federally required on planes after a federal judge in Florida struck down the national mandate. The White House is reviewing the decision, but the TSA says it will not enforce the mandate, and most of the major carriers now say masks will be optional. And we saw some on the plane actually throwing their masks in the garbage, and that was on video. And of course, we have to check in on Jackie and Spirit this morning. Whose talons are those blocking the baby?
Yeah.
We see the egg is still in the nest. So this is a family portrait for you of Jackie, Shadow, Spirit, and the egg.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How is it up in Big Bear? It looks a little windy.
Yeah, it is windy up there.
Okay.
We have a wind advisory that goes into effect shortly and will be through tonight at 11 o'clock. Tropical depression to the north, kind of the culprit here. It'll bring on onshore winds that'll be somewhat strong. That does include the Coachella Valley. It expires at 11 o'clock tonight. Despite the expiration time there, we'll still see some gusty winds on and off through the rest of the work week. Dew points in the 20s, peak temps at around 3-4 o'clock today. That includes lots of low to middle 90s, so slightly above average temps. Yesterday we had highs around 100 degrees, so the numbers start coming back down. So occasionally gusty Wednesday, Thursday, maybe even Friday, but 74 degrees for a high on Friday will be cooler for us. Could see some precipitation in Southern California. As of right now, really nothing for the valley. Then the numbers start moving back up. Yes.
All right. But Friday looks like a nice day.
Not too bad. Yeah, a little
windy,
cooler than normal.
cooler.
Yeah, a little gusty,
Okay.
and some showers to the west of us in the mountains as well.
All right. right. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at 11 a.m. Back that thing up. On Friday, I'm going to the Rancho Mirage Observatory on Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some kid activity going on. They let you take telescopes home.
What?
If only this was Friday.
What, borrow them?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Isn't that neat?
So when's this?
Friday.
Okay, Friday.
Is there
Well,
anything
there's the
meteor.
meteor shower this weekend. But yeah, just kind of look before you head into work tomorrow morning. And you can do this at home because there'll be 4 planets lined up. I don't know if you can see the graphic behind me. Oh, there it is over there too.
This is the graphic.
Ow! You can't see it on this monitor here.
So it says Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Moon. A celestial heads-up planets line up just before sunrise on Wednesday and Thursday.
Venus will be the brightest, followed by Jupiter. And then a little harder to see will be Mars and Saturn. But again, they'll be kind of evenly spaced, which is kind of cool.
Do you know that boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider?
I have heard that, yes.
Is that girls go to Mars to get more candy bars?
But no, I heard.
Girls go to Jupiter. I don't know. Boys go to Jupiter. What is that saying?
Yeah, what is that saying? Because I don't think we have it right.
Girls go to college to get more knowledge. Boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider.
That sounds about right, yeah.
But that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. All right, well, hopefully we made you laugh or smile, and you have your celestial heads up.
I was going to say, never mind.
What?
No, it's filthy.
All right, have a great day, and see you guys tomorrow. Oh, my. Is that Jackie?
All right, I think I'm ready. Girls go to Venus to get some... All right. Yeah. Good Tuesday morning. Going to be a cooler day compared to yesterday with highs around 100 degrees. Low to middle 90s. Mostly sunny skies by this afternoon, but an approaching frontal boundary will bring us some gusty winds. In fact, a wind advisory in effect through tonight.